The sun woke the Sahel with a whisper, long glowing fingers of light reaching over the horizon, brushing the dusty plains of Niger with warmth. Herds of cattle moved like gentle tides, bells chiming soft rhythms as they grazed on sparse grass. Generations of herders had walked these lands, listening to the subtle language of wind and hooves. In this world, cattle weren't just livestock. They were family, wealth, identity, and pride, passed down from father to son and mother to daughter with sacred reverence. The early morning breeze carried the scent of hay, fresh milk, and earth warmed by the sun. Beneath the open sky, Nuno walked steadily, his silhouette strong against the glowing light. He knew each of his cattle by name: Sabari, Kulu, Hadiza, each with a story, a stubborn temperament, a gentle gaze, a calf born under stormy skies. These animals were his responsibility, his livelihood, and his legacy. Swiftly, he called quietly, tilting his head toward a small calf resting under an acacia tree. "Easy there. We'll drink after the sun climbs." His voice was calm, confident, the voice of someone who showed up, always. And here, in the rhythm of morning chores, he felt at peace. That same morning, a bus rattled into the homestead, bringing someone new, someone who would change everything. Her name was Inès. Inès stepped off the bus with uncertainty in her eyes. She was from Niamey, a student of agricultural science, eager to learn but untested by the sun and dust of the Sahel. The wide desert sky felt intimidating, the quiet so deep it pressed on her chest. She had studied soil charts and breeding cycles, but nothing in her textbooks prepared her for this vast and unforgiving world. Nuno noticed her immediately, not because she was new, but because she tried not to look uncertain. "Good morning," said Nuno, approaching with gentle confidence. Inès blinked, startled for a moment, then smiled politely. "Good morning, I am Inès. I just arrived. I'm Nuno," he replied, offering a cup of cool water. "Welcome to the homestead. The land looks harsh, but she speaks loud when you listen." Inès took the water, hands slightly trembling. "I hope I learn her language soon." "You will," Nuno said, his voice warm. "Come, you should meet the herd." Walking beside him, she watched how he greeted each animal softly, confidently, like speaking to an old friend. Inés's heart fluttered for reasons she did not yet understand. Days turned into weeks. Inès rose before sunrise, with Nuno carrying fresh millet for the cattle and helping anchor fences before the wind rose and the sun scorched the earth. "How do you do this every day?" she asked one morning as they guided the herd toward a distant water trough. Nuno smiled, not grandly, but with something gentle and true. "I don't do it because it's easy," he said. "I do it because I promised myself I would." At first, Inés's steps were unsure. Her hands, pale from city life, blanched under the sun's burn. She feared making mistakes, knocking over troughs, miscounting cattle, fumbling names. But Nuno never rushed her. Instead, he believed in her before she believed in herself. On long afternoons, beneath the shade of thorn trees, they shared stories. "I always thought I'd work with crops," Inès said once, handing him a cool drink. "But the cattle, they are alive in a way crops can't be," Nuno replied. "They teach you patience," and Inès listened, curious, open, and slowly. The land began to feel less frightening, and more like a vast, silent invitation. One evening, after a long day's work, Nuno invited Inès to his family compound for dinner. The compound was alive with laughter and music, voices calling greetings, drums beating rhythmic patterns, children darting between laughter and stories. In Nigerian culture, communal meals weren't rushed. They were celebrations of connection, rich with shared dishes, respect for elders, and warm hospitality. Under a woven canopy, his mother served bowls of tuwo, thick millet paste, and rich stew. They ate with their right hands, sharing food and smiles, while the scent of spices wrapped around them like comfort. "Nuno tells us you are helping him with the cattle," his mother said kindly. Inès felt nervous. The eyes of a whole extended family can be intimidating. But she breathed deeply and smiled. "It is challenging," she admitted. "But I am learning Nuno has good patience," his father said with a slow smile. "That's how this land survives, with patience." Later, around a small fire, Nuno played a traditional tune on a calabash drum, and cousins began to sing old stories. Stories of cattle, storms, wandering herders, and timeless skies. In that moment, Inès felt woven into something older, deeper, richer than she had ever known. Weeks later came an invitation to a cultural festival, a gathering of herders from across the Sahel, a time of community, celebration, and tradition. In Niger, nomadic Fulani and herding communities honor the bonds of family, cattle, and courtship through song, dance, and community gatherings. One of the most vibrant events is the drought, a time when youths gather in elaborate dress to sing and dance in traditional courtship rituals, known across Nigerian culture. Inès watched as young herders adorned in color, beads, and intricate patterns performed rhythmic chants and movements that felt ancient and powerful. The firelight danced across painted faces, voices echoing into night, celebrating heritage and love in equal measure. Nuno's eyes never left her. "You belong here," he said, softly but with certainty. She looked at him, the firelight reflecting in her eyes. "I want to belong," she replied, and in his smile she felt the whisper of something like love. Then came drought season. Grass thinned, water became precious. The herd faltered under the blistering sun, and every decision felt heavy with risk. Inès had grown confident enough to propose rotating grazing paths farther. Riskier, but with promise of greener pastures. She feared Nuno wouldn't trust her judgment. But he didn't hesitate. "I trust you," he said. Together, they led the cattle toward distant lands. There were moments of fear, hoofprints sinking into dust, water troughs low, distant thunder promising rain, yet never delivering. Yet with each challenge, Inès stood firmer, guided by knowledge, intuition, and a calm belief in her own worth. And Nuno stood beside her, not overshadowing, just present. When the rains finally came, gentle, life-giving, and grass sprouted under unwavering sun, the herd regained strength. Inès stood in the grass, eyes shining with exhilaration. "We did it," she whispered. Nuno looked at her, not with pride, but with love that had grown in daily choice, not in dramatic gestures. That evening, as the sky blazed with sunset colors, they walked among the cattle, the animals' calm, lush grass at their feet. "You've changed," Nuno said, "in ways I never thought I could." Inès replied. Nuno stopped and faced her. "It's not that the land made you strong," he said gently. "You chose to be, that was always yours." Inès looked into his eyes, steady, open, warm, and felt a truth settle deep in her bones. "I choose you," she said, not just in words, but with the rhythm of her breath. Under Niger's vast, timeless sky, where cattle roam like slow, sacred waves, they built a life rooted in tradition, love, patience, and courage. Love didn't come from grand declarations. It came from shared mornings, quiet evenings, family traditions, and simple choices made every day. And as they sat together watching the stars rise over the Sahel, Inès knew this was no ending, only a beginning.